Hello, everyone. I'm Claire Jones, and I'm a queer fantasy romance author as well as a mentor that supports other writers in getting their works shared with the world. And I am jumping on today to talk about a conversation that I have with people all the time, literally all the time. Sometimes writers come to me thinking that they want to go the traditional publishing route. Sometimes they come to me with the intention of simply throwing their book up on Amazon and hoping for the best. The most difficult conversations I have are with the already published authors who went the Amazon route and are either A, not getting enough or any sales, or B, now want their books distributed in stores like Target and Walmart. This is where I'd have to gently break it to them that they will never get wide distribution opportunities if they only published through Amazon. But first, let me back up and tell you a little bit about myself. Why am I even talking about this? Why you should listen to me. I joke that I was born into this because my mom was an art teacher for 25 years and I've been writing in some shape or form since I was 7 years old. If you've watched the intro video on my YouTube page, you will know that I started with truly awful fan fiction in elementary school, to angsty poetry in high school, to academic research papers in college, and then finally all kinds of business writing after I became an entrepreneur back in 2014. In 2013, I even tried to write a nonfiction book about life hacks for 20 somethings and began talking to agents before falling into a deep depression that blew up the whole project in my face. But in 2022, I finally took the leap and started writing my first fiction book, which is book one of an 8 book queer fantasy romance series that is based on an idea that I had for a potential Dungeons and Dragons game. I figured I had read so many bad books over the years that had somehow made it to bookstores and library shelves and garnered audiences of fans that I could at least write something better than some of the things I had read before. Up until that point, I had spent 8 years in the world of entrepreneurship and had founded 3 businesses during that time frame. So I applied all of my hard-won knowledge in the world of business and applied it to my love of writing, deciding to open my fourth business, a publishing company under which I have since produced 3 novels, 4 planners, 12 journals, and a workbook. Nowadays, I know a lot about a lot when it comes to how to succeed in the world of publishing, and I want to set some things straight for you all. So, most writers start out thinking that they want to go the traditional publishing route. Many of them try for years and years and years trying to make it work, and many of them get discouraged and drop out entirely. If you want to go the traditional publishing route, finding an agent will likely take you about 2 years. Finding a publishing house will likely take an additional 2 years. What they look for, first and foremost, is the monetization potential of your existing audience base. This usually means having at least 10 to 80,000 followers. Small presses may be happy with an audience of 1,000, but the bigger houses want 5, 6, and 7 figure audiences. They want to know that your book will market and market well. It's a business decision for them, not a literary quality decision. When some writers realize this, they choose to instead to go for the hybrid vanity or self-publishing routes, where they can sometimes have more control over the process. If you're interested in learning more about the differences between these options, check out my other video, Book Publishing 101. The link is in the description below. 99% of the time, however, the author is still fully responsible for building a personal brand and marketing the hell out of their books. It takes a lot of specialized knowledge, plus trial and error after trial and error to succeed in this. And many people believe that it's simply a numbers game. And the more followers you have, the better or easier or faster it will be to reach the top. But I want to clear up some things for you all. Number one, it can be a numbers game, but the overall number of followers doesn't really matter. What matters is the quality of followers, as well as how you use those followers to your advantage. Just today, I was hosting my usual marketing workshop for another authors group, and someone asked me what they should do with the 17,000 followers that they have on their Instagram profile. If you want more information on this particular workshop that I do, check out my other video titled How to Market as a Creative. The link is in the description below. During this presentation, I had told them the story of Elon Musk and how we should all be very wary of large follower accounts. For example, in June 2022, the software SparkToro estimated that around 70% of Elon Musk's Twitter followers were bots. At the time, he had 87.9 million followers, and SparkToro estimated that nearly half of them were fake. This woman in the workshop today told me that she also suspected that the vast majority of her 17,000 followers on Instagram were also bots and duplicate accounts. So she asked if she should spend the time culling through them and cutting them down. My answer for her was that it depended on what her ultimate goal was. If she wanted genuine engagement from her Instagram followers, then yes, it would behoove her to cut out the bots and duplicate accounts. However, she could also use the high follower account to her advantage, since many speaking engagement opportunities will look at your follower accounts to confirm your credibility as a speaker. These event hosts don't care to check if the follower account is full of bots and duplicate accounts. They only care that you have a big audience who is interested in hearing from you. If she wanted to capitalize on that, then it wouldn't behoove her to cut down her follower account. Personally, I don't chase virality and big follower accounts on my profiles because I would rather have slow, intentional, authentic growth on my accounts instead of a rapid, uncontrollable rise to fame. If you're interested in learning more about the dangers of internet celebritydom, I would recommend checking out the book Extremely Online by Taylor Lorenz. In it, she goes over the evolution of social media platforms from the very beginning to today. So she starts with the mommy bloggers of the early 2000s and ends with the rise of TikTok most recently. The one thing that I took away from that book, something that validated my own observations and research, was how incredibly toxic and damaging massive visibility can be to a person or a brand. Going viral often hurts more than it helps because it thrusts you, your message, and your products onto the radars of thousands and or millions of people who may or may not align with your brand messaging. It will bring out the trolls, the haters, and the creepers. You will spend a lot of time and energy trying to combat what they bring to the table and then fall into a depression once your next video flops. It is not healthy. It is not sustainable. If you do want to go the quick and dirty route, the fastest way that I've seen to build a sizable audience is through TikTok, because the algorithm supports and encourages virality more so than other platforms. To do so, you have to be very intentional with your content strategy from the very first video. What I recommend is that you spend at least 1 to 2 months studying the ecosystem of the platform and those content creators that are most aligned with your brand messaging before you post a single video. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. To position yourself in the best way possible, it takes months and months of preparation. Most people do not have the patience or the willingness to do the work. Overnight successes don't just happen overnight. That brings me to my second point for this video. I have mentioned branding and brand messaging and brand alignment multiple times so far, and I want to get specific on what that actually means. The best, most efficient, most sustainable way to achieve success as an author is to get super clear on your branding. Branding includes your worldviews, your values, your interests, your goals, your challenges, your dreams, basically the freak flag that makes you who you are. Every opportunity you will be confronted with as an author must align with your brand, or else it will feel false, it will feel forced, and sometimes you will even feel violated. Just like how it feels when something goes viral and you get put in front of the wrong people. It can take 3, 6, even 12 months or longer to get super clear on what your brand is, what you stand for, and what you don't stand for. This is the trial and error stage. Think of it as trying on different outfits. Are you a goth, a prep, a tomboy? Do you prefer suits over pajama bottoms? Once you find the outfit that feels like a second skin, then that's what your brand is going to be about. And sometimes it's a combination of multiple outfits. Maybe some days you want goth corporate, some days you want a flowery boho farm stand dress. The point is building a brand around whatever facets make you, you. I like to use a Venn diagram to map these out for myself. One of my circles is about escapist fantasy, another is about business systems, and the third is about liberal politics. These three circles make up the majority of my interests, my nerd zones, my freak flags. Where they overlap are opportunities to talk about related topics like ethical consumption, mental health, magic mechanics, world building, astrology, etc. This Venn diagram encapsulates my brand voice, my brand values, my worldviews, goals, dreams, and challenges. That way, every piece of content I put out, every opportunity I say yes to, every opportunity I say no to, every outfit that I wear to events and for videos, every conversation I have with an audience member is filtered through my brand messaging and brand voice. That's how I know that I value genuine, authentic follower communities over the chance of going viral. That's how I know that when I do get the random hate messages from trolls and creepers, they'll disappear sooner rather than later. That's how I know that my path to success as an author will be comfortable and fun for me. If you want more guidance on branding, check out my other video titled How to Build a Personal Brand as an Author. I will also include the link in the description. This leads me to my final and third point here. Brand messaging directed me to learn as much as possible about the various publishing platforms out there to make sure that I was making the best decision based on what my publishing goals are. When folks willy-nilly throw their books up on Amazon or complain about how long it's taking to go the traditional publishing route, they haven't taken the time to A, solidify their brand, B, solidify their goals, and C, research their options. By focusing on those three things first, you will be able to make better decisions. If you don't, you'll spend much more time suffering under the weight of imposter syndrome and depression and anxiety, thinking that there must be something wrong with you and your writing. This kind of self-hate is what stops writers in their tracks and prevents their books from getting birthed into the world. Let me tell you right now that traditional publishing takes years, and Amazon KDP will never be available for wide distribution. Your brand and your goals are going to inform every single step of the process, from writing your manuscript to marketing it to publishing and selling it. Above all else, be as intentional as possible, and don't be afraid to say no to the things, the people, and the opportunities that are not aligned. This is the conversation that I have over and over and over again with people, so I figured I might as well record it. If you want more guidance, advice, or support, that's what I'm here for. So good luck and take care.